Hello, everyone. It's Fertility Hot Seat time. So let's let everyone start to roll in and join. And then you all remember how this goes. So it's a Fertility Hot Seat. I do these once a month, and I select one of you to come on live with me, and I give you a free 15-minute consultation. He's going to keep calling. I know he's. Anyway, this consultation is not medical advice. It is advice based on my 20 years. Is that crazy? 20 years of clinical experience helping women get and stay pregnant. It is advice based on my best-selling books in the space of fertility. If you guys are new to me, I am Aimee of AimEeRaupp.com. Go to my website, start with AimEeRaupp.com/books, and you can learn all about the books that I've written. I have two in the space of fertility. One is called Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. And the most recent book that I've written is called The Egg Quality Diet. It has reached thousands of women at this point, and so many have seen incredible results with following the diet as laid out. So here's what you need to do. If you want to join me live right now, you have to hit that little plus button at the bottom of your screen, and that will request to join me live. And then I'm going to let a few more come on because there were so many comments. So the number one way to get chosen, by the way, is to comment on the post when I promote the hot seat. So we did a reel last night that my team made. It's beautiful and I love it. And there was like lots of comments. And so all of those women, all of those people, your names are in my head. And so I'm going to see who has requested to join me live. And if you're someone who has commented on the post, chances are your name's familiar to me and I'm going to pick you. That's how it goes. So we have been doing these. I've been doing these now for over a year, maybe 2 years. So there's lots of hot seats. You can search them just through going through my Instagram feed and my post, and you'll see the fertility hot seats. But they're great. I love them. I know so many practitioners actually follow along because they get a lot of ideas on how to best support their clients. And I know so many other warriors on the journey follow along just to get, insight and advice on what, one comment that I saw that I loved was, I love watching these because I really learn what to ask for and how to advocate for myself with my doctors. And, it just makes me feel so good because that really is like deep down the level of service, like why I do what I do and why I even host something like this is, just to give you guys the direction and support that you deserve because it's overwhelming out there, right? And there's so much information. I actively see clients all day long and either in the clinic or online in my coaching practice. And so believe me, I am like, my finger is on the pulse of all the things going on, all the talks, all the discussions, all the tests, all the medicines, all the things. Plus then I have my area of expertise in Chinese medicine, my area of expertise in functional medicine, my area of expertise in herbal medicine. And as a clinician that really, I just help you pull it all together. So, well, I love you back, Giselle. Thank you for your sweet words. Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's an honor and it's a pleasure. And I would have it no other way, it just so you guys know too, like I work with a coach and she was like, you give so much of yourself away. And I was like, I do, I know it, but I love it. And, I'm not giving up my hot seats. No way, Jose. And just so you know too, what'd you say, Elizabeth? I got pregnant naturally at 41 after following you for a few years and doing so many of the things you recommended. I used to watch your lives regularly. It feels so amazing to be back. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you. Okay, you are amazing. Oh, congrats on your first baby at 41. I don't know if you guys saw too, we did a story of hope. It was, I recorded it just because it's ease. And we posted it live last week, but a woman who's been just like you, Elizabeth, just follows me, does all the things I talk about here, reads my books, hasn't ever coached with me or my team, 3 pregnancies, healthy children too, between the ages of 43. She had a pregnancy at 43, 45, and she's about to give birth at 47. All healthy children, 3 pregnancies in her mid to late 40s. So fuck you, Western medicine, and all your goddamn rules about our egg quality and our age, right? Go shove it is what I say to that. Yeah, okay, let's see. I know phase 2 is tough. Michelle, hang in there. You're almost there. Yeah, go and watch The Story of Hope. It's great. It's not long, 20 minutes in and out. We just kind of talk about like the big things that she did. And that's why I share them. And I always ask women send me, I have like 3 emails right now that I have permission to post that women send me emails all the time that are like, oh my gosh, I did this. I did your reboot then, or I coached with so-and-so then. And I just want to share, like we have our healthy baby here. And then I always write back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. The email gets to me because it's either sent to info@aimeeraupp.com or somebody else gets to me. And then I always say, do I have permission to post this? And they say yes. And then I say, most of the time, and then I say, do you want to do a story of hope with me? And then they say, oh my gosh, yes. And some women say, no, I'm not ready. It's not my style. I'm like, that's fine. You don't have to. Not your style. We don't have to share your story. But know that your story inspires so many. And I just, I'm so grateful for your willingness to share and your bravery. Really, you guys are true warriors. It makes me emotional. You're so brave. And you keep going and you go for what you know you want and you know you deserve. And I believe in you. Okay, so let's see who's here. Okay. Let's see. Cha. Ali, and I'm going to have a piece of paper to take notes because that's how I always do it. And let's see. Oh, you help us keep going. Well, okay. I accepted. Okay, so she declined. Alexandra declined. So we are, this is possible. All right, Michelle, I think you were another one who had a comment or a question on the post. So let's go with you and let's see.
Hi.
There we go.
I'm good. Oh my God. I just came out of the bathtub. I was taking care of myself,
This is okay.
a joy warm bath. Yeah.
There we go. I know.
Yeah.
Yes, you need a good bath. I had 2 yesterday and it really helped. I was not feeling great. 2 baths changed the game for me.
Yes.
Were you the one that asked the question about exercise?
Yeah.
Is that the same,
Exactly.
Michelle? Yeah.
Hi.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
Hi.
Nice
I'm
to meet
good.
you.
I just did my
How are
acupuncture
you?
today, and I was also the one who's in phase 2 right now, so I'm almost done with that. Doing everything for the egg quality at the moment. So I'm 43.
So
I'm 43 years old.
give us your story.
I've been trying now for almost 4 years, and my AMH is super low, 0.08. The FSH was high, but I got a bit lower, and I had 2 miscarriages, but I always have just almost 1 follicle, and it's just, I believe that it's there, that I can get pregnant. I just need to shift the right thing, do the right diet. But it's getting tougher as you're getting older. And I've been reading your books, the egg quality diet, and of course, yes, you can get pregnant. And before this, I did sports every day, basically kind of CrossFit, and that made me so happy. But I was told by so many people that, oh, don't do that. You need to cut it out because it will cause more inflammation, etc., etc. But I find myself kind of like, I don't have that joy. Yeah, like yoga just doesn't do it for me. So I'm just like, what is that right balance for someone who is at my age?
Yeah. And I think that it's a great question. And
sure,
it's always like,
ahead.
So can I ask some questions first before I fully answer it? How about that? So tell me about the miscarriages. When did they happen?
Yeah, so the
how far
first
along?
one that was in 2019, I think, and that one was basically just on week 4. Basically, I found out, and then a week later, one wasn't also planned, and then 1 week later, I just kind of miscarriage, and then the second one was through IUI. Because I was supposed to do IVF, but I ovulated early, so they converted it to an IUI, and I became pregnant. And it lasted till week. That was 2020.
When was that?
So it was and then I got to week 7. Yeah.
Okay. And were betas doubling and things of that nature, and like they saw.
But then suddenly it just stopped. I guess they didn't find a heartbeat or anything.
We didn't collect tissue, so we don't know anything, right?
I also live in Germany, so that's also one thing. It is it's
Yeah,
and
they're
yeah,
tough.
and it's
They're
just
tough with miscarriages
yeah,
and
it's really
tissue
hard to
testing
get,
and all that.
actually. That's my other thing. It's hard to get information here because it's a different approach
Yeah,
to fertility. Yeah. So
it's very,
it's
it's
not
very.
personalized.
I mean, I've had handles. It's very like
Yeah, it's not
shameful almost, right?
personalized.
It's
Like
yeah,
I don't feel that I'm getting, it's like
yeah,
everything I've done is my own research. It's not been
yeah,
from doctors. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then, so
Yeah.
have you done fertility
Yeah.
treatments
Ever since.
since that
Yeah,
IUI?
nothing. Yeah.
And
I've
nothing.
had, like, I've had
Yeah,
some,
no
yeah,
pregnancies.
we had IVF taken out, but I don't know because I also have a very thin lining. So I never know, it doesn't stick,
Okay.
or does it not go, just,
Have
yes, I did.
you ever had a hysteroscopy
Yeah, I had
or an
one
or biopsy?
5 months ago, and I had one of those, what do you call it, heart shaped, a little bit of a heart shaped, yeah, 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 yeah. So
Okay,
they fixed
hornet.
that at
Okay.
least. But
And what about an endometrial
no,
biopsy to see if you have
yeah, they also checked
endometritis?
that,
Did
and then
anyone
nothing
test
there,
that?
but just thin
Okay.
lining
No
in
endometritis.
general,
Okay,
and
good.
yeah, it's just,
Thin lining, thin
yeah.
lining and low count, basically. And then meds wise, what are you typically doing with
I
an
usually
IVF or an
do
IUI? What
letrozole.
type of?
I start with letrozole for the first sort of
Okay.
five days, and then they go in and check again, and then I might start like a mini, what do you call it, a mini protocol with, uh, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
Gonal
with
or Follistim?
yeah, Menopur and going on. Yeah, I can't remember the name. Sorry.
So what I would recommend, and this is just again based on what I've witnessed and learned from some of the doctors I work with, that a general rule of thumb, if
Yeah,
there's less than 3 antral follicles, do not do any
really?
injections.
Okay.
Only do the letrozole. And maybe, yeah, like to see, I don't know. I mean, that might have to be a decision that you make on your own, to just because the meds and especially the Menopur, when you have that, like when you don't have a ton of follicles, seems to it can really impact the quality. And then also if you come in with the Gonal or the Follistim at a higher dose, like even like a 150 can really impact. And so doing the letrozole seems
Yes,
to just give
that's good to know, because I
the
also like
juice.
noticed I lost probably 40% of my hair. Like it just thinned out from all the medicine. And today I went for a scan. It's very strange because I am supposed to be on my cycle day 11th, but I have a cyst, what do you call it? Yeah, a luteal,
Follicle.
corpus luteum cyst. So, but they said it's okay. It's
Oh,
been there for
okay.
1 week. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
It's
but
from last
my
month, probably.
progesterone
Yeah.
levels are high because I temp every day, so it's really high, and I have no idea where I'm in the cycle right now because I'm nowhere close to ovulation, even though I'm on cycle day 11. So I just told them, what should I do? I'm just gonna wait till next cycle begins, but I'm really confused. I don't know if it's because I'm doing the flushing everything at the moment, if that has anything to do with it, but it's
Yeah.
just right now. Yeah,
So your progesterone was
yeah, yeah.
high, like as if you ovulated?
I think
What was it?
25 something, but
Could you have
no,
ovulated early,
no,
like
because
cycle day
I
7 or
know my
something like that?
body. Like I temp, and this month it
10?
was
Yeah.
also, sorry for the TMI, but like I always had very brown,
No.
like it was cloudy and brown, and it's always been after the hysteroscopy I got more flesh or blood, but this month it was quite brown, and I took progesterone after I had ovulated last month, and I was just cramping quite like a few days after, and then I just don't know what's happening right now with my cycle. Yeah,
Good, the progesterone.
I
What was
don't know.
your estrogen? Do you
I don't
know?
know.
Was estrogen tested? Okay. Okay. So, so with all this thin lining, low count, kind of the hair loss, that kind of stuff. Like, how about when you started at Quality Diet? Like, how many
26,
red flags would you say you
26.
had?
Yeah.
A lot,
Um,
or
I just
okay.
did it.
What are some of them? Tell me
It's
what are the big ones?
the sleepiness. So I have really difficulty falling asleep, and
Fatigue.
also I'm quite sleepy during the day. Like when I'm in the morning, I don't wake up refreshed. I don't actually sleep though well through the night. What else is it? I think hair loss was one of them. Just memory loss. Yeah, memory loss,
So like frog.
fog.
Okay.
Oh gosh, what else? cold feet and hands on that. Yeah, cold feet and
Yeah.
hands, often cold
Yeah.
feet and hands. Um,
And how different is the diet now than
um,
what yours typical
it is
is?
quite different because I used to love to eat a lot of sugars and I guess nightshades. I always ate quite healthy, but I did steer off and just go into sugars, and yeah, I it was hard
Okay.
to control myself. Yeah, it's really hard,
It's
and it's
hard.
like you
This has been a
feel
long
you
journey.
have a
It's
down
really
month,
hard.
and it just like you just want to comfort yourself with some comfort food. Yeah, pasta, and
The fuck,
I love the
call it
pastas
the
and
fuck it.
everything,
See,
but it's generally healthy.
yeah.
But I kind of recognize that maybe I should like cut out the gluten, dairy, and stuff. But here we go.
And that's George
Yes, it is.
Harrison
He's
behind you.
my
Is that George
favorite.
Harrison
Yes.
behind you?
Oh, thanks.
He's my
Yeah.
favorite
So
man.
yeah, anxiety,
I love
bloating.
him.
Yeah, sorry, I just found my
Thanks, babe.
AMH sheet.
I always joke. This is a total aside, and it won't go into your time. But like my dad's name was Harry. My grandfather, my brother, they're all Harrys, and
Oh,
my son's name is James Harrison. And I always joke that he's named one part after my dad and the other
he's
part
the
after
best.
George Harrison.
He's my sweet lord. Sad as you say. Yeah, yeah.
He is.
But
He is. Oh, I
anyway, I
love him
got
so
my
much.
list.
Um.
So yeah,
Okay.
so
So
it was
okay. Yeah. So read
anxiety,
through anything else that
bloating,
jumps
brain
out to
fog,
me.
cold hands, constipation, depression, very difficulty concentration, dizziness, dry nails or like brittle nails. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
faintness,
So you need the fat and the
fatigue, and
protein. Yeah. Okay.
groggy. Just hair thinning, headaches, mood swings, peeling nails, reflux. Yeah. So
Okay. How are you feeling so far into
I'm
phase two? I
feeling
know phase
good.
two is
I'm feeling
tough,
very
but how
great.
are you feeling?
Sleep is better.
Okay.
Sleeping better. The first week wasn't so great, but
Okay.
I also think it's because of my cycle. The digestion
Okay.
is getting so I feel like something is happening, but it's not like on a regular schedule. Yeah, things are shifting.
Okay. Things are
Yeah, but
shifting.
I'm
Okay.
feeling good.
And then
Yeah,
thyroid's been checked and
that's good.
vitamin D
Yeah,
levels.
yeah.
How's that? Okay. All fine. Okay. And what are you
I
taking supplement
take
wise?
True Niagen, I take CoQ10, I take the liver pills because I can't eat liver. Vitamin E, I take prenatals and NAC, yeah, NAC,
Fish
is it called NAC? Yeah,
oil?
NAC, and then folate.
NAC. Yeah.
Yeah, just folic acid.
And
Official,
what
yes,
about fish
official.
oil?
The
And you take extra
Yeah,
folic acid on top of the
because I was
prenatal?
told I need 800 and my prenatal is at 400, so I take another 400 on top. Uh,
And folic
Folic
acid or
acid, just
methylfolate?
folic acid.
Can you switch to
Yeah, sure, I can do
methylfolate?
that.
Can
Yeah,
you find one? Because most people have the
yeah,
MTHFR mutation. You might have it like 50, 80%. And then we can't
yeah,
utilize folic acid. It just
yeah,
is like, it's like a toxin when we eat it. So you're better off. And that could be part of even the
yeah,
miscarriages. Like if the baby comes in and there's not enough methylfolate in your system, it just doesn't have enough to develop. So it's like, that's one thing I would think about is make sure your fish oil, I would go up to like at least 2,000, maybe even 3,000 milligrams based on
yeah,
some of your symptoms of fish oil per day. I would get methylfolate. I think
yeah.
in Europe it's easy to find the Thorn brand. The Thorn
Oh,
prenatal is the best. Like that's the one I would do. Thorn prenatal 3 a day, and you'll get plenty of methylfolate. You don't need the extra folic acid. Um, and then I like the True Niagen. I would stay at like
oh,
one
really?
pill of the True Niagen. Try not to go
Because
higher than
I
250
do
milligrams.
like
It's
a
too
thousand.
much.
Like I do three of the 300.
Yeah, it'll burn you out. It's like it can be a very hot
Oh,
substance,
really?
so that could be part of like.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that high. An NAC, you could do 900, 1200. That's fine. You're on liver, and then so
No,
vitamin
I
D is
take
fine. You don't take
vitamin D
anything
spray.
extra.
Yeah,
Vitamin D.
vitamin D spray.
Okay, vitamin D. Just okay. And then will you do like in your luteal phase?
I
Do you do a
have done
baby aspirin
it
or a low
before,
dose aspirin?
but I really don't know if it makes a difference or not, to be honest. So I have done it, but I've done IVF.
With the two
Yeah,
losses, like I would think about that, you know what I mean? Of like it's not gonna, it's pretty benign, if you will. Um, I would do the low dose aspirin. You can of course clear it with your doctor in luteal phase and post transfer. And then I would consider like the low dose meds if you're doing an IVF of like either just don't take them or tell your doctor, you know what, I want to try something different. I just want to do letrozole
Mm.
this month and I want to see what we get. Because are you getting embryos to transfer or not even getting
I
them?
only
They
get
don't make it
one
to
usually. So
transfer.
what they do is after 2 days they put it right back in. Yeah. So
Okay.
I also don't know if to become, yeah, become, and
And then
so I've always had luck with that. The only one time, the last time it didn't develop, but I always get embryos. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
okay.
yeah,
And you put it back in at day
great.
2. Okay. And sperm
Yeah,
health
that's
is
so
fine.
yeah.
You've had that checked. Okay. Okay. Um, so going back to the original question, the exercise. So like kind of based on things being what we would say like yin deficient, blood deficient in Chinese medicine, which is probably if you did the quiz in the back of Yes, You Can Get Pregnant, you probably fall into that category. Sweating too much can compromise you. So it's like, um, but like hear me out, let me finish because it might still be where you could do some of your like high intense workouts, but maybe you're just doing 20 minutes like two
Mm,
times, 3 times a week,
yeah,
keeping it like at that level. I think once
yeah.
you could be pregnant, I would try to what would
I
you do? What are some of the other
I
exercises
would
you
just
do that aren't like high
cut down with the
intense?
weights and do more like body weight stuff. Yeah, so there is a
Yeah,
program for
that's
pregnant
exactly
women
what
that I also had for that. If so, that did start back then. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So that's what I would do of like, because I think there is a fine
yeah,
line of like putting your life on hold for baby, but now you're 4 years in, like, where's freaking baby? And now I
yeah,
don't get to do anything I enjoy anymore. Like, that sucks. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want you to, so for you, I want you to think about the like short spurts are probably going to be the best for you and they probably get your energy out. So I would almost do like the 20-minute high intense workouts. Um, 2 max 3 times a week. I think that's great because you'll still work up a sweat, but it won't be like hot yoga sweat or like sitting in a sauna for a 30-40 minute sweat.
yeah,
But just it kind of gets out that frustration and stagnation. I think that'd be like a really good approach. And then especially if you're following the dietary recommendations of like really aim for getting that high amount of
yeah,
protein, like that 80 grams of protein in, and those good quality fats, because the fat is what's gonna thicken that lining. That fat is what's gonna make those follicles more juicy
mm,
and the eggs more juicy. Um, and then like same the hair loss, the cold hands
yeah,
and feet, all of that is telling us there's not enough blood. So like those liver pills are really helpful. The acupuncture is really good for the flow. And then if your acupuncturist can put you on herbs too to build
yeah.
your blood, have they
I
ever
have
done
had
that?
some
Any
teas.
blood
I guess
building
that they
herbs?
are the herbs. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that they are. Yeah. Um, I would talk like, if you're not on them now, I
Can
would
you
maybe
mix that
consider
with
like
supplements
teas
though?
regularly. Like I
Oh,
take herbs every.
you can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
not maybe don't take them at the exact same time, but maybe I do my herbs either like in the morning or at night and make a tea and like just kind of have like a ritual of it.
yeah,
So it's
yeah. No,
away
that's
from
no
my
problem. I can
herbs.
get that.
Okay. And then I would increase the fish oil. Like I said, let's switch the prenatal. Um, what else am I missing here? Maybe a good probiotic. Are
Um,
you on a probiotic?
I have one, but I don't know if it's a good one. I also didn't know if I should do like a proper probiotic, like what do you call it? Um, cure. I can't remember the English word for it. Yeah, but just a treatment that like lasts for like a month. But I was also considering that.
Oh,
Like
I don't know
you
what that
go
is.
for
You
a
mean
select
like
period of time, you have it. They give you like a powders and some pills that you're supposed to take for like a month or something to like flush everything out. And yeah.
oh, okay. So and it's like to your microbiome, like is
No,
it
it's just
specific
like
to
a general
you?
package,
Or
yeah,
is it
that they have here.
no? Yeah, so I mean I tend to like soil-based probiotics. That's how I think they're good ones. Like Seed over here in the US is a great one, but there's Claire Labs makes good ones. Like look for soil-based probiotics. Those are usually um uh, generally speaking, of course, pretty good. And you want to think about, I also like to rotate, like do one probiotic like one
Yeah,
month and then try a different one. And that seems to help the body. And then if you don't have any negative reactions to histamines or to any fermented foods, those are also just a great way to get real good probiotics in. So you'll see that in the diet, we talk
yeah,
about the kimchi or the kombucha, that type of thing. Some people react poorly to the histamines in there, but some do great. And then that's a great source of probiotics. And then you don't need to take
All
extra
right.
pills.
Great. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And so let me think what else. You did the hysteroscopy, you ruled out endometritis.
Yeah.
The lining is thin. So I think that's the
Yeah.
goal, is like we want to work on thickening that. So I would do like
Yeah.
abdominal gua sha
Yeah.
with the castor oil. If you know, get castor oil and then gua sha over your abdomen, that really helps with circulation and blood flow. It really does help with AMH too. I mean, obviously it's anecdotal what I've seen clinically, but I think because you're improving circulation and blood flow to the ovaries, so the AMH comes up
Yeah.
and the ovarian function improves. And if you have practitioners over there that are doing like mine abdominal massage, or your acupuncturist knows someone, that's another thing to think about. Especially like with the period being like this past time, it almost sounds like you just had a cycle that didn't go well,
just a
right?
weird cycle
Basically.
because it doesn't flow with where I should be at all. Like right now, I should be ovulating, close to ovulating.
And will you see good
Yeah, I
cervical
always see that.
mucus
But
with
now
ovulation?
it's just, yeah, now
Oh, we see that.
it's
Okay.
dry, and yeah,
Dry.
temperature's high, and so I think it.
Yeah, so it almost seems like you did ovulate, but early, or maybe that bleed was some kind of
They
cyst
don't see a
rupturing or
lining right
something
now.
like
There's no
that.
lining.
And
Yeah,
yeah, oh, that's
there's no
interesting. You
lining. Yeah.
should see a lining in that luteal phase. There's
Yeah,
no
so
lining,
that's
but
why
your
I'm so
progesterone's up.
confused.
And when was the last time you took progesterone? How
I
long has it been?
stopped, what was it, a week and a half ago? A week and a half, 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that should not be in your system.
I
And then do you ever do
I
estrogen
do.
or
So
estrogen
usually on
priming? Do
day
they
3,
ever?
I do estrogen just to like, 'cause that has helped me get a triple line. So I get to like, when it's
Yeah.
good, I get to like 6 millimeters, 6 or 7 millimeters. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then how much of the
3 a
letrozole
day.
will you do? How many tablets? Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even less of that. You might do better. Because considering your history, like with that IUI, what were you on then? I know that's 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Actually,
Crap, right? Is that crazy?
I was on letrozole as well. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
also
How much?
I have to look on my protocol diaries. Yeah, I can check what I was
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it's almost like thinking about like less is more, especially when there's, not a huge antral follicle count. That it just, the meds can, I
Yeah.
think, like they almost like saturate the egg. So it's like you want just less and more. You almost want to just like, I always say microwave versus slow cook. You want to really think about like kind of slow cooking them, and maybe even starting estrogen. This is another idea. I mean, I'm sure you have a ton of meds and everybody can listen here. Starting estrogen in your luteal phase, it won't impact whether or not you get pregnant. Like if you got pregnant, it can only help support the lining, but it's like estrogen priming. So you're starting it before the next bleed, before the next cycle. And so the estrogen's there. And so those eggs are already kind of getting primed
But
and
won't
ready to
that
go
prevent
for
ovulation
the
sometimes if it's
next.
high? Oh, it won't. Oh.
Now, estrogen won't
Ah,
prevent ovulation.
okay. I
Progesterone
didn't know
will.
that.
You could
Okay.
take
No, that's a
estrogen all month
good tip.
long. Yeah. And then I would consider the baby aspirin too. And then I would like definitely do the high dose fish oil too. Like maybe even 3,000 for like a month or two. And like, let's see how you are in phase 3. If a lot of your red flags are going away, you could probably go back down to 2,000 of the fish oil, but that really just comes in and like saturates and coats
Yeah.
things
So
too.
I
And
do
it's
the
such a
cod liver
great
oil
source of
now
fat for those eggs.
that you suggested from your
Yeah.
page. Yeah.
Green
Or
pasture.
Nordic
Okay.
Atlantic or something. Yeah, no, yeah, Nordic
Oh,
Naturals.
Nordic
I
Naturals.
used
Okay.
to do a
Okay.
teaspoon,
Yeah.
so do you think I should do a tablespoon then, or is it pills? 1.5.
Or 1.5
Okay.
teaspoons. Maybe go up by
Okay.
1.5. Go to 1.5. This is like one teaspoon. Is how many grams? I never, ever, ever can remember this. I have an Evernote in my, yeah, to be precise, but it depends. So 1 teaspoon, see everybody's saying different. 5 grams, that's not true. I have to look at fish oil. But that's tablespoon. Sorry, 1 tablespoon, 5 grams. Yeah, so 1 teaspoon 5 mLs is about 1,300 milligrams. So yeah, I would go, you could then in that vein, you could actually
Okay.
double it.
So 2 teaspoons. Basically a tablespoon. Yeah.
A teaspoon of cod liver oil contains about, 800, again, these are so vague, 888 milligrams of omega-3, but then you get the vitamin A and the D and all that. So
Okay.
yeah, I would do 2 teaspoons actually. And then, and 1 tablespoon a day is even safe, but I do 2 teaspoons. And yeah, okay. Do you have any questions for me right now?
Thank you so much. Like, yeah, really.
Well, do you feel like the exercise question has been answered?
It's like
you have
what you
a
say
clearer
in the
picture?
Yes, You Can Get Pregnant book. It's like all about mindset and finding the joy as well. So that's like where I am right now. It's just to kind of believe in myself. I think that's the hardest because I kind of lost hope in my body. So it's just like, I know I can because I'm doing everything for the eating wise, but it's just connecting with myself again, if you know what I mean. And this book is sort of helping me to get back there. And to do that, I know I need to go back to things that bring me joy. So, but thank you for all the resource and information. You are just amazing. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Thank you
so much for joining. I appreciate it so much. Okay. And DM us on the back end and keep us posted on you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you, Michelle. Welcome. Bye. I'm going to stay on and answer a few questions, so I'll let you just exit out.
Wait, how do I do that?
I know. I think you would just hit leave,
no leave
is
button.
it? Or
I'm
no?
so sorry,
Maybe
people.
not.
I don't.
No, it's okay.
I'm just gonna.
It's okay if you don't know how
and see what happens.
All I was.
I'll leave.
Yeah,
Okay.
that works. So you can
Bye.
try it and see. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Thank you. So I saw some questions come through. So this is not a Q&A. If you have supplement questions, go to my website, aimeeraupp.com, and you'll see recommended supplements. Go to that page. All the brands are on there. And I am going to be doing a Q&A soon. I don't remember my schedule, but we always post ahead of time when I'm about to do a Q&A. And so bring your questions there. But I'll post ahead of time when it's going to be a Q&A, just so you know. And then that way, I have a live Q&A on Thursday. I just looked at my calendar. So 12:15 p.m. here on Instagram is going to be a live Q&A. And it's going to be like an Ask Me Anything about fertility. So bring your questions on Thursday and I will answer them then. And I thank you guys so much. And I always am so grateful to all of you, and especially to those who are so brave to come on and join me live and share their story, because as I always say, sharing lifts the shame. So thank you so much, guys. Have a